A couple more minutes before we go to break and before we bring on Reb Maisel here, I wanted to quickly talk about something that just came on my radar right before we came on this show. On July 5th, as we record this, in fact, like maybe an hour before we started recording this, they started letting people on the new Instagram Threads service. So Instagram has launched Threads. It is a competitor to Twitter. It has an almost identical interface to Twitter. You can, they're not tweets, obviously. They're probably called Threads or something like that. I just signed up Break the Business for it. And I am, by the time this goes up on the air on SiriusXM, I think we'll know even more about Threads, but I'm excited for this platform, Katie. I have made no secret of the fact that I am not particularly pleased with the state of Twitter lately. Mm-hmm. I think you've left Twitter entirely, so you're not loving it right now. Yeah. And I believe the marketplace has gotten hungry for a Twitter alternative. We've had a few that have popped up like Mastodon and Blue Sky and Post, and they're around and some people are on them, but it's hard for people to want to leave Twitter unless they know that there's a place where everybody else is. Yeah. And if you know that if you're going to go on Mastodon, you know that none of your friends are going to be there and none of the people you love are going to be there. If Reb Maisel's not there, you're not going to be there. Yeah. Whereas you know people are going to be on Threads because all you have to do to set up a Threads account is use your existing Instagram account. So if you have Instagram, you have Threads just by clicking a couple, mouse clicks on your mouse. Mm-hmm. And so, keep in mind, whenever I make a prediction, I'm always wrong. I have a 100% failure rate with predictions on this program. But I predict with everything that Instagram Threads has to offer, I think it's going to effectively replace Twitter within 24 months.
Yeah. Now, will it be successful? I don't know, but I do think it will replace Twitter.
Well, at least in the sense that I think it's going to be bigger than Twitter in 24 months.
Okay, so that's interesting because this is my perspective on it, and you are right. I try to stay unbiased because I help a lot of my clients with building on social media, and ultimately they need to find the platforms that are right for them. But I'm a Twitter hater, like I am. I got off Twitter years ago because I found it to just be really, really negative. Like everyone on there was depressed and being a super Debbie Downer, and maybe that's just the feed I was on, but it was really bad for my mental health, so I got off. Then with all of the stuff that's been going on in the last year with Twitter, I just think that they're running.
And by the way, was this pre or post Elon taking over?
This was way pre Elon. Like this was this was pre-pandemic that I got off Twitter.
You ditched Twitter before it was cool. All right.
Yeah, because honestly, it was pre-pandemic. It was probably 2018 or 2019. And I was really struggling with my own mental health. And I would just go onto Twitter and everyone would be like, the world is on fire and everything sucks and the sky is black. And like, I was just like, this is not helping me. So I got off Twitter, like I said, a while ago, but I've been watching everything that's been happening. And I've just been like, okay, this is just like a dumpster fire. And then just the other day, we were having really bad thunderstorms here in Nashville. Can sometimes lead to tornadoes, and there's a Twitter account that's Nashville Severe Weather to keep up with these things. And I kept going to check their Twitter account on my phone, just like on the web browser, and it wouldn't let me see anything. It kept trying to make me sign in. I go to TikTok and find out that now they've put a paywall, like where if you don't have an account, you can't see anything. And then they're going to experiment with a paywall where if you have to pay a certain amount to like see a certain number of posts. And I just feel like this is just another nail in the coffin with Twitter. On their own, they are dying. But now that Threads is coming into the picture, I don't see why people have any reason to stay on Twitter and not go to Threads and fully embrace that. My only thing that I'm looking out for and questioning is that there seems to be this idea that Instagram is also dying, but I wonder if this is going to help Instagram or if Threads is going to go downhill-ish with Instagram. I kind of think it might help it though. So I'm really curious to see what happens.
It's going to be a pretty interesting 12 to 18 months. Lauren, do you have the tweet from Matt Navarra talking about his perspective on Threads, talking about a lot of the same things that you were talking about here, Katie? He says, quote, he's an internet marketing expert. He says, quote, by tying Threads to Instagram's 2+ billion user social graph, to give new users a kickstart addresses one of the biggest frustrations Twitter users are experiencing when trying to quit Twitter, having to start from zero someplace new. The fact that Meta has closely copied Twitter's UX UI is intentional and strategically smart. Disgruntled Twitter users want to quit Twitter, but not have to start from zero somewhere else, and for their new home to feel familiar. And the timing for the launch is whatever that OK sign emoji is, or the,
it's like,
I don't know what you call that emoji, but pretty great is what I think they're saying.
Yeah.
Elon has handed Zuck a gift with his rate limiting BS. You were talking about that just now.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like the timing for them to have announced Threads could not be better.
Yeah. And he closes with this: my bags are being packed, so Matt Navarra is off to Threads, but I'll leave a spare set of clothes here in case I don't like the new place. I think I'm going to do that as well. I think a lot of people are going to do that as well. And I think you're going to see a lot of creators do that as well, because you haven't been able to witness this firsthand because you fled the ship well before it really started sinking. But it's just not as enjoyable of a place as it used to be. And it's become basically impossible to achieve organic growth on a platform like Twitter, which is not great if you're an indie creator and you need to try to create organic growth for yourself. Yeah. So maybe a new platform like Threads, where you can kind of get a fresh start, but still be able to use the social reach of Instagram and Meta, might be just the thing that you need as a creator to get yourself out there. Only time will tell.
Yep, we will see what happens.
Indeed.